Welcome to this playbook coaching session on social selling. In this session, we'll focus on how to tune your LinkedIn profile and build your brand. So what is your profile? It's your first impression when you're making connections in your professional network. It's also your professional brand that you're showcasing for thousands of professionals. And LinkedIn's no longer a platform to share your online resume. It's the world's largest professional network for you to reach your target companies and contacts. And in order to do that, your profile needs to demonstrate the value that you're providing. So your headline, your photo, your summary, they all need to grab the attention of the person who is viewing your profile and considering connecting with you. Now, why is it important to tune your profile? Your profile will establish you as a subject matter expert in your field and how you will provide value to that connection. You can reach thousands of people through LinkedIn in a very short time. And it's by far the fastest way to expand your network of professionals that you could never meet even if you spent millions of miles on an airplane. It also establishes your credibility when others see how many connections you have in common. Your target contacts can also see how you contribute posts, articles, and the comments that you receive from others in the industry. This helps you build your brand so you can be more effective in social selling and connecting with your target audience. There are many elements that go into tuning your LinkedIn profile and building your professional brand. Your profile tells the story of your professional life and should not just be a copy of your resume. We recommend looking at other successful professionals in your industry and outside of your network to see how their profiles look, either good or bad, and what not to do. You will need to work through each of these sections and determine how they weave into your personal brand and story. We will start with privacy settings to show how your information is visible to others on LinkedIn. In this first lesson, we will show you the settings to control the privacy of your LinkedIn account. Managing your privacy settings will control who can see your information when you're trying to make connections. You have the option to control if other second and third connections can see your contacts, your updates, etc. You can choose to keep your profile private, but that will limit your ability to connect with more contacts. I recommend making your profile public when you're actively adding connections to your network. You can always change it back. We also recommend looking at the settings for communications and notifications. You may not want all of your connections to see every edit you make to your profile. Spend some time going through all the settings for your account, privacy and communications. Let us know if you have questions, and we're happy to help you out. Please follow these steps in Navigator to update your privacy and other settings to maximize your profile and account. In this second lesson, we will show you the areas to customize in your personal profile. It's important that your background image and personal photo express who you are and generate interest. In the past, it was the norm to have a headshot with business attire only. Now, more professionals are expressing their personality with backgrounds that say something about their life, where you live, what your favorite hobby is, where you had your last adventure. And depending on your position, you may want to use a professional or a social photo to generate interest. Try to use a photo with your full headshot versus a clip from a photo where another person is off the edge of the frame. Avoid images with words on t-shirts or backgrounds that could be offensive or culturally inappropriate. I've had many positive comments just on my background photo, and you can too. Most connections spend less than 10 seconds viewing your profile to decide if they should connect with you. There are many different ways to present your headline and summary. The key is to make it compelling and demonstrate your value to that connection. Remember, this is not your resume section. That will be detailed in your experience. Just like a 10-second commercial, this is your one chance to make a great impression with a new connection. Invest some time looking at other industry professionals and successful individuals' profiles. Find what works and does not work. Weave in keywords such as innovator, leader, passion, etc. These words should differentiate you from the competition. For example, if you put word sales in your title and headline, you're 75% less likely to get a connection. Use other words to describe your role and your value. Whatever you write in these two sections, make sure the rest of your profile backs it up. Please follow these steps in Navigator to update and customize your profile. In this third lesson, we will show you the supporting information to include and update in your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn has updated the right side of your profile to show highlights of your education, location, and contact information. Many people on LinkedIn are afraid to share their personal contact info, including their cell phone number and their work email. We've proven that adding your direct contact info shows that you are open and willing to receive calls and emails, which increases your connection rate. Spam is very limited and can be blocked at any time. Make sure the location is where you want it to be and not where your internet provider thinks you are. In the experience section, you will detail your career timeline just like you would in your resume. However, there's a subtle difference in how you present this information in LinkedIn. Instead of just listing your title and what you did in the past, focus on the value that you provided to your customer for each position. Talk about your accomplishments, how you provided value to similar customers, awards you received, etc. This is the place where you want to showcase all the impressive and great things you've done for other customers. Instead of focusing on the tasks you performed, be creative and focus on how these tasks generated value. Education and volunteer experience is one way for you to find something in common with your other connections. These sections are also used to match you up with similar second connections in your network. If you have any advanced certifications, certificates, or other special skills that are valuable, make sure that you include those in this section. I often scan this information on connections profiles to see if we have something in common. These sections also can help you with your initial conversations with that connection. Your skills and recommendations will give you credibility with the people you're trying to connect with. It's important that you highlight the top 3 skills that are most important for your target customers. You can also look at the skills that your target customers and competitors highlight in their profiles. It's very easy to add up to 50 skills to your profile. If you endorse your colleagues on LinkedIn for their skills, they will get a notification, and you can then message them and ask them to endorse you in return. You want the number of endorsements for each skill to be as high as possible. You can also ask your connections to recommend you and write a narrative on how you provide value to your customers. Please follow these steps in Navigator to update your supporting information. In this 4th lesson, we will show you how to view your interests and groups. LinkedIn groups give you the opportunity to connect with others that have similar interests for no cost. This is much more effective than attending events or conferences where the cost of travel can be high and it's hard to meet everyone in a couple short days. You have the ability to join up to 100 groups, which gives you access to millions of potential connections. It's very easy to view your connections and see what groups they belong to. Join those groups and see who the other members are. If you focus on the groups that are active, they can provide insights from the members that you can use in your research. You can request to join up to 10 groups at a time. If you have common connections already in that group, ask them to invite you. There are groups out there that are only for the group owners to sell their services. Do a little homework to see who is posting and commenting in those group pages. You can also invite others to join a group once you're a member. We'll cover groups in more detail in another coaching session. You can also follow specific companies and individuals as part of your interests. This will push articles and posts to your feed so that you can read about the activity in those companies. Please follow these steps in Navigator to update your interests and groups.